Hi, I'm Rebecca from BCom Computer Applications at the Degree College. Here is the video of steps for creating entity relationship diagram. So what is an entity relationship diagram? Entity relationship diagrams are commonly used in conjunction with a data flow diagram to display the contents of a data store. So an ER model is a design or blueprint of a database that can be later implemented as a database. So what does this entity relationship diagram do? They help us to visualize how data is connected in a general way and are particularly useful for contracting a relational database. It describes the structure of a database with the help of diagram, which is known as entity relationship diagram. The main components of entity relation model are entity set and relationship set. Coming to the steps for creating ER diagram, these include entity identification, relationship identification, describing the relationship, attribute identification, and create entity relationship diagram, that is completing the diagram. So coming to the step 1, entity identification. The first step in making an ERD is to identify all the entities you will use. These entities could be a manager, an invoice, a schedule, etc. So create rectangles for all entities and name properly. So an entity is nothing more than a rectangle box with a description of something that your system stores information about. So draw a rectangle for each entity you can think of on your page or on your screen and keep them spaced out a bit, like entity 1 and entity 2. Here I have taken the example student entity and faculty entity. So coming to the step 2, relationship identification. Look at the entities. Are they related? If they are related, so if there exists a relationship between the entities, connect the entities using a line and add a diamond box in the middle describing the relationship. So the entities are connected using the line and the describe to describe the relationship diagram, diamond box is used. Coming to the step 3, describe relationship. How are the entities related? Draw an action diamond between the entities on the line we added. So in the diamond, write a brief description of how they are related. So here the faculty entity and student entity is connected with an relationship called teaching relationship. So student is taught by faculty. So in the description I have given the taught by. So student is taught by faculty. So there exists a teaching relationship between student and faculty. Coming to the step 4, adding attributes. Add attributes for entities. Give meaningful attribute names so that they can be understood easily. Any key attribute of entity should be added using oval shape symbol. Here the student entity is given roll number attribute and name attribute. Faculty is given faculty ID attribute and faculty name attribute. There may be also a multi-valued attribute, composite attribute, many type of attributes. Coming to the step 5, completing the diagram. Continue to connect the entities with lines and adding diamonds to describe each relationship until all relationships have been described. So continue to connect the entities. Student entity is connected with the faculty entity with a line and with the description of taught by, and student entity is given roll number attribute, name attribute, and phone number attribute, which is multi-valued attribute, and faculty is given faculty ID, faculty name, and faculty subject. So here is the completion of the diagram, and there are tips for drawing an effective entity relationship diagram. Make sure that each entity only appears once per a diagram, so there is no repetition of entities. Name every entity, relationship, and attribute on your diagram. Examine relationship between entities closely. Are they necessary? Are there any relations missing? Eliminate any redundant relationships. Don't connect relationships to each other. And most important thing, use colors to highlight important points of your diagram. Thank you.